Hello everybody and welcome to another third party review. Today I joined the ranks of the big boys. I've got myself a Fans Toys Scoria, aka Masterpiece G1 Slag. Huge thanks to Adam for the great hookup. This is part of their Iron Dinobots line. It's the FT-04 and basically it's their #1 Dinosaur. This is their follow-up to the Quake Wave toy, which I never got. But I'd finally decided to get this one. I've seen everybody's reviewing it. So I've seen Optibottom's review on the up-and-coming Sword as well. And I thought, no, Ben, commit. You need to commit yourself to the Fans Toys cause. And I managed to get myself a Masterpiece Grimlock to go with it from Toys R Us for £69.99. That's not bad. Anyway, let's take a look at the box. On the front of the box, we have this cartoon rendition of Slag. Open up the front window. And we've got some more artwork. These are done by Spike Art, I believe it is. You can then see Slag inside his window there in bot mode. Taking a look at the side, you've just got the name. On the back, we have a very nice bio. Let's quickly zoom in. Here's a quick read up on the Iron Dinobots, and then some information on Scoria himself. At the bottom of the box, we've got the Fans Toys 2014 with a scannable barcode. You've got the Weibo fan site, and you've got the weapons and the head, mask selection and sword, which are included in the box. This is recommended for ages 15 plus because there are choking hazards. Don't eat your toys. On the top and bottom of the box, you've got the same artwork. We're not here to review the box, we're here to review the toy. Let's get him out. Boom. Now, straight out of the packet, I am very impressed. Just had to... He was slightly mistransformed in the box. He just had his hands inside the claws. Literally just flip down the underside of the hand and get the hands out. And the backpack and kibble just needed to be pulled back a little bit further on a double hinge, but I'll cover that when I take a closer look. Now he does come with a rather fancy-nancy sword, which I don't think has any batteries in. Don't think they come packed with the batteries due to the European laws. Let's just take a closer look at the hilt. Really nice, very reminiscent of that of the cartoon, and it'll go really well with Grimlock's sword. He also comes with a gun. Again, the gun should have LEDs and batteries, but it doesn't. Again, really nice chrome work on this. A very nice, fancy piece of kit. And of course, we also get the alternative head, which literally is just that. It's a snarling face, and literally just a small ball joint just plugs on to the top of the neck. And we've also got two very small red face plates. They're still inside the packaging because they're taped inside there. If I just bring those in, just taped inside there. I'm never going to change them over for the red. Just a matter of unscrewing it and detaching it. But I'd rather keep them there because I'm prone to losing things. So I may swap the head over during the video just so you can see, but I'm going to keep the faceplates as they are. And of course, let's not forget the famous third-party bio cards we seem to be getting with everybody left, right and centre. Here is Scoria's. To be honest with you, I can definitely see what all the fuss is about. These are a beautifully made piece of kit. It is by far the closest we are ever going to get to a Takara release of the rest of the Dinobots, I believe. I've even got to the point where I've spoken to people and they don't even refer to Fans Toys as a third party. They're more a subsidiary of like Hasbro and Takara, which obviously officially they're not, but just because of the quality and engineering that they're producing. I mean, the figure itself looks absolutely gorgeous. It's not without its faults. I do have a somewhat loose shoulder joint. It's a little bit loose on this side. It's something that can be fixed, but you know, you get that with Hasbro products, and this guy just looks so darn good. Taking a look all the way around him, the back folds in pretty nicely to reduce the kibble. I love the use of that gold chrome, and it's just such a big, hefty, weighty figure. There's just nothing physically I would change about him. He is literally been ripped straight from the cartoon and placed in front of me. Okay, yes, he's not the cartoon yellow, he's this gold kind of chromed metallic colour, but it looks great. I mean, he looks fantastic with Grimlock. I even love the fact they've given us fully articulated hands. You've got individual finger articulation, just so it's just a little bit easier to slide his sword in. So let's put that in there. That should just fit in that groove, shouldn't it? We're going to have to move the thumb out of the way, are we? Come on, in you go. And there we go. See? Doesn't that look absolutely fantastic? Absolutely loving that. Same goes again for this hand. The peg actually goes in, but it doesn't physically peg and stay in. It's more kind of just there to have resistance against the hand. So we can pull the fingers around it, and there we go. There we have his gun in hand as well. Here he is fully loaded up, and yeah, extremely impressed. He looks phenomenal. Maybe a little bit shorter than I was expecting. That's probably because I'm used to the teased images of the Gigapower guy, and I mean, he looks massive. But this guy fits to scale. It's all very good, and it's a professionally done job. Now, articulation wise, he has a rotation at the head, up and down movement due to that ball. He has a nice ratcheted shoulder, and it goes all the way around 360 there. We've got an upper bicep swivel. We have a wrist tilt and a wrist swivel, and of course we have those articulated hands. Going to the waist, we do have a waist swivel and no real ab crunch there, but you do have very nice ratchety thighs, although they are fairly loose. But when you put your leg up, and because of the sheer weight of that die cast, that's just going to fall straight back down. You've got the outer thigh swivel, got a really nice deep bend at the knee, and of course you have that die cast foot pivot. So I mean, this guy has a fair bit of articulation, but I think, did we really need that die cast in those legs? Because that really does affect how well those joints hold up. Now, bringing in Masterpiece Grimlock, this is the MP-03 version. You can see there is a slight problem with scale there. Grimlock short. Obviously, Grimlock was released prior to this whole MP10 scale situation. Everything's kind of based around the MP10 now. And Grimlock was prior to that, so he's a little bit too short. But Fans Toys even thought of that. They came out with the Grimlock Disco Shoes. Just a platform shoe that slides in to the gap in Grimlock's feet. Slide that in, and there we have some nice platform shoes, which brings Grimlock up to a much better scale. Bot mode scale isn't exactly perfect, but it's a lot nearer than what we were originally given. And I mean, this guy's going to tide me over just until that KO oversized MP-03 is released, and he is a big boy, which should bring the bot mode up to about here, which is a lot better scale. Here's a few more Masterpiece bots just to give you guys an idea of scale. You know, I think they work really, really well with the current Masterpiece selection. Before I quickly turn him into his Dino mode, I will just show you just how easy it is to remove the head. Literally just apply a little bit of force and pull that straight off. And again, applying a little bit of force should pop that straight back on, he says. There we go. Snarly face. Right, now, to get him into Dino mode, you want to remove any weapons that you've placed in his hands. You want to fold his thumbs straight back down and fold all of his fingers back in, so we now have a clenched fist. It looks like so. You then want to flick down the bottom of his arms, which reveal a nice crevice for these hands to go in, but they will only go in if they are perfectly square. So once they're in, you can then close those off. Do that with both hands. Very slight movement, but still part of the transformation. Just slowly push that in. There we go. Only goes in just a tad, but that's enough. Next we want to pull the chest panel down, And I've pulled both of them down at the same time. That's a bonus. This black one needs to come down. The head needs to be square. And we can fold that down and in. And we can place the black section back up again. Next, if we take a look at the jaw, they are on a rotating swivel. You want to pull the jaw all the way down so it's on the bottom. And then push it back. So they're now facing downwards. Next, you want to rotate both the legs just at the thigh joint. So the feet are now facing backwards like so. He's a bit lopsided. He may not stand up like this. Next couple of steps, just taking a look at the legs. You want to pull open this knee tab, which was clicked in there, and then this entire heel tab like so. Flip this leg section here around. If I just free up the leg there, you can see it's going to come through this gap here and around like so. And there's a small grey piece just in here. That's going to flip up like that. You can then close this assembly back up, like so, and like that. On the outside of the leg where we just pulled this section through, you can bend this section up this side and this section up here, and they are going to form the foot. Pull that up, and they are going to peg together nicely, like so. That's an upside down dinosaur foot. Now you want to repeat the same process on this leg. So flip that back section down, make sure you flip the front of the knee down. You can then rotate this section through that hole that you've just made. There's this little tab here that you flip up. You can then close the leg, then put this section all the way up, and this section all the way up as well. And there we have his legs, kind of looking a little bit uncomfortable. This section isn't too difficult, it does require a little bit of force though. As you bring this section down, we're going to be bending the legs inwards, so that should ratchet round and should meet up nicely in the middle. So let's do the same with this side. As this section comes down, we're going to be bending this leg up so it meets nicely in the middle. Line everything up and they should plug in nicely. Coming round to the back, you want to lift the mane upwards, and then the backpack, which is folded in, we're just going to move that up and out of the way for now, because we're going to bring round these side panels like so, and these tab in just on the underside of the belly, just a little bit, just there and there. We can now pull back that tail section, which remember is on a double hinge. So you want to bend both of those hinges so that both comes back. Just there we go, that's now come back down. That will peg in just there, pegs in again just above the bum, and then we're left with this tail which we can pull down so it pegs in. There's then a button here which allows us to extend the rest of the tail. Now just make sure it's all pegged in firmly on both sides. There we go. Come on, in you go. There we go. There we go. That's a nice solid click. We can now sort out Slag's mane, which basically is on a rocking hinge. So as that comes down, you want to rock it back and down, and then fold these flaps down to the side. Just they're going to tab just in under there. So do the same on this side. Just bring that mane down, flip that tab in. That tabs in just there on the underside of his chin. There we go. Let's just sort out his die cast horns, and there we go. That is, in all essences, Masterpiece Slag. There we have Scoria in his Dino mode. Wow. Just wow. This is why I bought this guy. This is why I wanted him. That is a Masterpiece Slag. It is absolutely stunning. I'm loving all the detailing all the way across, and he does vaguely look like a jacket potato. I can see what people say that. But he's a Triceratops. He's a big fat dinosaur, and he is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I have seen there's a repro label set for this guy, so possibly might be grabbing one of those as well. But it's a perfect perfect representation. Everything pegs together as it should. It was somewhat tight getting all the tail and everything pegged in, but the overall outcome looks outstanding. This is definitely how this guy is going to be presented in my Masterpiece display, along with Grimlock in his Dino mode. Let's just get some other guys in for a scale comparison. Really quick size comparison. You've got Masterpiece Wheeljack here, you've got Masterpiece Grimlock sporting the footplates as a handy little backpack. Don't they look fantastic together? What an absolutely perfect scale. Let's just quickly cover the articulation in his Dino mode as well. The head does move up and down, the jaw does open. It's actually a little bit loose, that jaw. You kind of want it to about there, but it just drops. He does have a section there where you can poke the flame kind of sword thing in. I don't know what actually is meant to poke in there, whether you can get like a flame accessory or something like that, but you have a ball jointed ratchet. I think it's like a ratchet joint in there. You have a swivel on the arm there. You have a slight toe up and down movement. You have a bend there. Is that going to bend for me? Yeah, no, bend that way. Okay, don't bend it the other way, Ben. You will break it. The back legs are the same. They don't quite come out as far, but you still got a nice range of movement, and you still got that swivel there and the bend. You do have a swishing lower tail. This one here is fixed into the torso, which I've just popped out, haven't I? Yep. You have a swishing there, swishing, and a little swish at the bottom there. All in all, there's a lot of articulation really for a big dinosaur, and he looks absolutely amazing to boot. So my overall thoughts are this guy is really, really good. Extremely impressed. I can definitely see why people have been buying these up. I'm just a little bit sorry that I'm about 6 months too late. Definitely going to go and order Saw, and I honestly can't wait to get all of these guys on display in my collection. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I know it's a little bit later than everybody else, but if it's helped us all, then it was more than worth it. Thanks again to Adam for the great hookup, and if you haven't already got this, guys, go out and buy one. He is phenomenal. Until next time, from myself and Slag, goodbye!